Section 1 of our 4th module here on registration dealt with who is liable to register under GST. Next, it's time to move on to the when of registration, that is nothing but the timeline for registration. Section 2 covers that. We'll check out the timeline pertaining to existing taxpayer, new dealer, and casual and non-resident taxable person. So as you can guess, this is going to be a very short section but an important one. If you miss the timeline, you will miss out on claiming input tax credit and collecting tax at a prior date. So let's get started on the timeline for registration. All the people who are liable to get registration under any of the 3 heads that we've seen previously will have to get registered within a specific date. So we can again divide these people who are supposed to register or who want to register into 3 categories based on the timeline. You have a timeline for existing taxpayer, for new dealer, and for casual and non-resident taxable person. So we know who an existing taxpayer is: someone who's registered under the existing laws of excise, service tax, GST or VAT. A new dealer is somebody who, based on the threshold limit of 20 or 10 lakh of aggregate turnover in a financial year, or someone who falls under the mandatory registration list, except for a casual and non-resident person. It's for all other 11 categories that we've seen. The third category is specifically for casual and non-resident taxable person. There are certain special provisions relating to timeline which is very different from the other 2 categories. So let's begin with our existing taxpayer. It's a very simple process. As we've discussed, they'll be automatically registered based on their PAN, and that's why we call them as the automatic registration category. They only need to fill out details in the online GST enrollment website, which is nothing but the www.gst.gov.in/enroll plan. On this website, there are dates mentioned, the start dates, which are different for different categories. For taxpayers who are registered under the VAT law, the site prescribes a state-wise date for all such taxpayers. For taxpayers who are exclusively registered under the central excise law but not under VAT, there is a separate date. Similarly, there is a separate date for taxpayers registered exclusively under service tax but not under VAT, and new registrations under any of these acts after January of 2016. So this is how the enrollment site looks. Check out all the different dates. The state-wise are for dealers registered under VAT, and the last 3 lines are for the specific categories that we discussed. And so it's super simple for existing taxpayers. All they need to do is fill out the enrollment form that asks for certain details. That's all. It's an automatic PAN-based registration. In the next video, we'll check out the timelines for registration of a new dealer and that of a casual and non-resident taxable person.